look in the eyes of my brother without shedding a tear.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. All right, I ain't paying no royalties. Welcome back to another episode of the InforMILLy Honest Podcast. Four brothers from the middle neighborhood of Gary, Indiana, coming to you to talk about this thing called life. And no matter where we go, what we talk about, we always going to pride ourselves being forthright, vulnerable, and do what I get the goddamn best. Be honest. I don't know why I started saying giggity goddamn like so consistently. I don't say it in any other context. So like
I love it though. I'm really just thinking that I love it.
Fellas, what's going on? How you feeling? How's your week been?
Been all right. Not too bad. Mine's been rather laborious.
Laboratory.
I've been in a lab a lot. Yeah.
Been in a lab with a pen and a pad.
Trying to get this damn. Yeah. I'm not gonna say who wrote that. Who obviously wrote that. Anyway.
Oh man. I know I told y'all, but I was down in New Orleans all week. I got two stories I wanted to share about shit that happened out there. The first one being we were going to link up with shout out to brother Amir, aka Too Bad, which is his stage name and everybody knows him by. And on the way there, me and people I was with, we were getting an Uber, and it said it was a Benz. I don't know what kind, but it was a Mercedes. He pulled up, mind you, like it's four of us. I'm tall as shit. One of the guys is like real stocky, big dude, look like he should play football, or like he did at some point. And a woman who is on the heavier side, but like she's just full body woman, right? The car pulls up, we try to get in, we notice like there's not enough space for 4 people in this car. It's the smallest Benz I've ever seen in my life.
Compressor.
Yeah. And we get halfway into the car, and the Uber driver just starts roasting the shit out of us. He was like, literally, we're trying to close the door. The big brother, he's getting behind me, and I can't even let the seat back because I can see it's not that much space between us. So my knees are like my shins are digging into the dashboard. My feet weren't on the floor the entire ride. I was really like turned sideways, like a extra in Brink mid-air.
Yeah.
And
love that reference.
He starts going in like, y'all niggas couldn't just spend money on the Uber XL. Y'all had to y'all shady fucking pennies trying to pilot to my small ass car. I was like, man, it said it was a Mercedes. He was like, a Mercedes 350. Ain't no 575 or whatever edition said it was.
That's funny.
Yeah, he was fucking hilarious the whole ride. It was only like a 5-minute ride, and he talked shit like the entire ride. He got such a big tip.
Yeah. Now get the fuck out my ride and don't come back. Yeah. With that bullshit.
And the other one was we thought we were going to a jam session because it's like open mics and all that kind of stuff. It's a musical city. It's the birthplace of jazz. We think we're going to that. We walk into the spot, and the bouncer, after he like checks our IDs and shit, was like, all right, y'all, they said the bar is open and you can't smoke cigarettes, but you can smoke weed.
Damn.
Weed is not legal in Louisiana.
Exactly. Can't even do that here.
I was like, that was crazy for the bouncer to like tell us that as we walked in. Like he made a point to tell us that. And then we get in, and we realized that the jam session got canceled because they're doing a special amateur rap competition called Coast to Coast, I think, or something like that. And like the winner's gonna go to somewhere to compete for like $50,000 grand prize.
Damn.
Needless to say, most of these people were horrible. It's like it's yeah.
I would love to see that though.
Me too.
These local rappers from Louisiana.
And the hilarious one, the chick that should have won got second, which because I think she was doing like mad conscious rap and shit like that. She came up in her job like there was no way she was gonna win.
I know she had some bars.
She had bars. Like she was the most talented of them.
Yeah,
but I was like,
just the wrong setting.
It's not the right place for this. There's no way you can get it.
if she would have put a snapback on top of it, she might have had a chance. If she would have added the snapback, she might have had a chance.
Like she had pretty good crowd control. Like, yeah.
She just had to talk about herself like Eminem, man. Degrade herself.
Yeah.
But the cat that won, he was the only cat that didn't use like an original beat. He used the beat from fuck these ugly niggas because I ride for my niggas.
Yeah.
And so I hear it come on and I'm like, oh, like
Louisiana
they do an animation or something like that. Like every person before this has used like some beat from, I assume, a local person, something like that. And I'm like, I'm sure whoever is rapping to this did not pay Swiss Beats for the rights to use this.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he gets up there, this brother with some straight backs with locks. And he goes, look you in the face, call you pussy. Look in the face, call you pussy. Like he says it like plies, like pussy. Like I gotta tell you, I was hyping shit for that whole fucking song. Mainly because Swiss Beats made a fantastic beat. DMX rocked the shit out of that. But he ended up winning, and he deserved to because that was a hyper song of the fucking whole show. So I wasn't mad at him winning. Both of these were hilarious experiences. Otherwise, New Orleans was cool. So that was how my week was.
Yeah, yours was definitely. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's a cool place, man, for sure.
Now, as y'all know, New Orleans is a place about food. You know, you're gonna get a lot of seafood. Very famous for their po' boys and beignets. I was very sad because I didn't get any beignets the whole time I was there. And then one of the students made sure to get me some from Lorraine's. And we were packing up, getting ready to leave, and I accidentally left that shit at the hotel. So I did shed a tear. But
you blessed one of the housekeepers.
It's not as amazing as the hype would
That's what I kept hearing about the other places, but they said like Lorraine's was the one place that like a beignet is supposed to taste like. And so I was sad that I didn't get to test that theory.
I should have tested what they're not supposed to taste like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Marcus on that one, man. Like it's worth trying it once, just because the hype, it's worth giving it a shot, but it's not something that I would be like dying for when I went back to New Orleans.
So on that subject, is there something that you have loved? Like what's some food that you just love in general that you're like, oh, this is that business, and we can even pivot it into, what's some food that you loved when you were a kid that you don't love now in adulthood?
I got you. I mean, shall we do this? Shall we begin to spar?
Are we gonna talk the Oreo?
I mean, I literally had double stuffed Oreos for the last 2 days.
Just some context to this, the conversation that happened before we got on.
So
true.
I got this theory that I've tested quite extensively.
My man put in his 10,000 hours.
So it's about snack foods that they changed the ratio with. For instance, Oreos. Now we have the original Oreo with the perfect amount of cream filling. And then they go and make double and triple and quadruple stuffs. And I'm like, so when you change the ratio of the culinary product.
Culinary.
It changes, it changes the taste, man. So the double stuff is a no-no for me because it doesn't taste like an Oreo should. Because first of all, the cream filling is not that amazing. It tastes kind of like wax or something like that. So the biscuit is like wax with a little sprinkle of sugar on it. So the biscuit or the cracker, whatever, that part.
The cookie, the cookie part.
Depending on what part of the world you're in.
Yeah, the cookie material.
I had to say biscuit because that's what they say in the UK.
Right.
Yeah, true.
So it makes it disgusting, man. I will even go, and this is like past the subject, but the thins are almost better than the regular. But I'll let Aaron interject.
So the thins are almost better than the regular. So what you're saying is the regular cookie was too much also. So the whole ratio that was perfect, that you said was perfect, clearly wasn't enough. It wasn't good enough. You even think like the thin cookies better.
Now it could be argued though that the thins have less cream and less cookie. So it's still
my man just doesn't. He just wants less Oreo. He just wants less Oreo. You just want less Oreo on the shelves at Walmart, Target, and in general. Now, what I'm saying is, I mean, I just wholly disagree, but I understand. Now, here's the thing. Why do you think they would go and make the double stuff? Because the demand was fucking insane for more cream, son. The demand was insane for more cream. There was a demand for it. It was enough of a demand. Everyone loves it.
I'm laughing because I know me and Adam are like mad juvenile about this shit. and my ignorant ass brain is going, yeah, for all them bitches out there that love a good kukaki.
So y'all, the ones that love the cream the most should have stuck with taking them apart, disposing of the cookie. Stick with that.
So
that's exactly what I used to do. Yeah.
I want to throw a wrench in this whole thing because the vanilla, like the whatever Oreos, those are better than the original to begin with. So
the golden Oreos,
the golden ones, yeah. So
were you a fan of like the vanilla wafers and stuff? The ones that go with like pudding, the banana pudding and shit like that.
Not really.
They taste like that to me.
I'll eat them, but like, I can't eat a lot of them. Like I can eat like 3 before it gets like just a lot, I guess.
Gotcha.
But no, I actually like the golden Oreos better than the originals. But as far as the originals go, I do like the double stuff because to balance out I'm not a huge chocolate person.
That's why I was like, I don't remember you being a chocolate person.
Exactly. So that extra stuff and kind of mask the taste. But that's
so it sounds like we all were having trouble. I didn't know people were having this much trouble with the original Oreo in general, like trying to hide this, trying to hide a little bit of that.
I mean, I would argue. I mean, I have no beef with Oreos or whatever. Like they, I haven't had a brand, Oreo brand Oreo in forever. I've had the Joe O's from time to
the
time.
Gas station, yeah.
The Trader Joe Oreos or whatever.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Which is pretty much the same shit. But they have
it like healthier or something, or just their version of their brand of
Oreos.
It. Yeah.
Oreos are one of those things like I can't remember what the other one was, but like they're vegan because the shit in there ain't animal based, but it's still some science experiment. Like it's
still terrible for you. Yeah, for sure.
So like healthy is relative, I guess. But the Trader Joe O's. What is it? They had the cinnamon one that was nice, and I'm just a fan of cinnamon. But could it also be argued that like they know their originals are staples, but they come out with new Oreo flavors.
Yeah.
Like every 3 days, they got some abomination of a flavor.
Yeah, terrible.
Like,
I'm down with
Um,
experimental flavors. Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
Mike, just when I thought I understood Marcus, man. So okay.
Marco, what's some of your top experimental flavors? Can you call?
I mean, well, of course, I like the mints. The mint flavor.
I
Okay.
fuck with
There's
that.
there's a peanut butter chocolate one. The birthday cake. I mean, you know what I mean?
You
Like
ain't fucking with the candy
Yeah.
corn, the red velvet.
red velvet. I mess with that.
I can't fuck with the red velvet. Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make this argument because I make it constantly. Red velvet is not a real thing.
It's just a color.
It's red chocolate cake. Can we stop acting like this?
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
I don't know,
what?
man.
I mean, no, it's like is it like it has like a raspberry or something flavor to it often, right? Am I wrong?
That's just your brain seeing that red and trying to
I've
associate
heard
it
that
with
it's
something.
supposed to
It's
be-
red food color.
I've heard that
I think I've had it with raspberry syrup or
Right.
some shit on it before. Yeah.
most people just put like the color in, like you said. But I think originally it's supposed to be some type of flavor.
Yeah,
But
probably.
I also noticed like is a cream
Cream
the
cheese frosting, yeah.
cream cheese frosting.
And
So
which that's what the actual thing is, in my personal opinion. Cream cheese frosting is so much better than regular frosting that people would just tell themselves red velvet is better. But no, you just don't like regular frosting because it's fucking trash.
Now let's take it easy. Let's not use that word so loosely. All right.
Hot
I don't
garbage.
cream cheese frosting, man. Like, just give me the regular shit, man. Come
Nah, B.
on.
yeah,
Yo,
cream cheese frosting is fire.
no, I
And-
made some homemade shit and it's good, but it's so easy for it to be like it can become too much so quickly versus the regular frosting. I could kill that shit all day.
So I want to give a few examples of my ratio argument.
Okay, go for it.
So have y'all or the viewers ever had like the big Reese's cups
Y'all listening to?
with the
Yeah, a little bit.
hella peanut butter in it?
Marco said, yeah, we lost you.
So I was saying like have y'all ever had the Reese's peanut butter cups with the hella peanut butter, double stuffed peanut butter, if you will?
Yeah, the XL Reese's.
So
I have, but continue.
I've seen them, I never had it.
Does that not change the whole experience in a negative way?
I don't know if it's negative. I think for people who, really love peanut butter and just like kind of like chocolate, they like, oh, I don't want these motherfuckers to be equitable.
I really love peanut butter.
I want my peanut butter to gang bang my chocolate.
I know I'm gonna get y'all with this one. Have y'all ever had spaghetti, right?
Okay.
Where it's way too much meat. Some people make it with way too much meat or way too much sauce. And I'm like, where is the Getty in the spaghetti? This is like
Definitely. You know what? Actually, one of my main complaints is not enough sauce. I know what you mean with that too much sauce shit, where it's like that shit sliding around your fucking plate. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
what
you
I
have
like.
enough sauce to put. You have enough sauce to make another spaghetti when you're done because there's so much shit on your plate. Like I said, I would say more than not, I come across not enough sauce to me.
Sometimes I come across way too much meat, and I'm like, you just made a bunch of ground meat.
you thought enough salt and pepper would help.
So you gotta have that ratio right, man. At the end of the day,
you know,
Yeah,
I fuck with the argument. Like I fuck with that argument. Like I understand how vital it is for things to balance for a proper marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand that to really have that proper marriage. However, as an insanely as an insane connoisseur of peanut butter that I am deeply saddened to hear you speak about the double stuffed Reese cup in that way, man. You know?
it throws it off.
Please,
Hey,
Adam and Josh, please, please save Marcus.
I mean,
right now.
I don't necessarily have like I don't feel one way or the other. Maybe just because I don't necessarily indulge in it. I'm trying to think of an example of something necessarily being overwhelming or the proportions off, but
BBLs.
So, okay. yeah. 100%.
absolutely.
I don't understand that. I don't understand I know that has nothing to do with candy or anything, but I candy for some, but I don't get.
No. I mean, there's a lot of motherfuckers out here eating ass.
I candy was perfect.
It is a delicacy.
I don't get the obsession with that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you can always get into that argument of, like that whole Sarah Bartman shit of you can look at any old sitcom. What was I watching? I was watching Moesha. This is some months ago. And they when you watch a black sitcom and it has white writers because because it was one point of her like feeling bad about having an ass. And you look at Brandy when she's like 20, whatever it is she is on that show. She has no ass. That's not even a thing she has.
Yeah.
But like she gets made fun of for having a big ass and she feels insecure about it and shit like that. So all those 80s, 90s, like does this make my ass look big thing that we used to hear growing up?
Yeah.
Hearing all that for all those years and then ass being like trendy now.
An obsession.
Absolutely an obsession, yeah.
To the point of now like surgically enhanced asses on people who already have asses.
Yeah. What more do you want, man?
Yeah, I just feel like the people who get BBLs, have you not looked at other people? Have you not looked at how it looks on someone? Have you not where's your perspective? Have you not looked around?
But the thing is,
every time you were like, "No, that's hot. That's hot."
A lot of people gas that shit though. Because here's the thing: your body, your choice. Do what the fuck you want to. That's
true.
Whatever.
This is true. Yeah.
But the reality of the thing is, like, when you look like a backwards B, it's not even uppercase. You like a lowercase B.
Or like people always compare them to like the Disney Pixar movie Ants, how they were shaking their hands.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. Like that, I don't personally get the appeal of it. That's just me.
I always just feel like they got a botched job.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I always just feel like they got a botched job, but then I realized they probably just really asked for that much.
Yeah.
Supersize me.
Yeah, extra large.
Talk about
give me that thing that's not on the menu, son. Give me that shit that's not on the menu. You know what I'm looking for. Nah, but you know what? And on I guess taking that a little bit further, it's super sad that like what some people see when they look in the mirror that would make them want to do that. Anyway, it's crazy, man.
It's one of the things where I'm so sure if there was a BDL situation, there'd be so many dudes that get that shit.
Oh, bruh. I mean, I'm at least hear him out. I'm at least hear him out, son. I want to know the bad. I want to know the side effects. But
it's funny.
Depends on how much damage one could do. Because
what was it? I was watching Your Mom's House, and they were talking about apparently there's some cat, I think he's somewhere in Europe or Australia, something like that, who has the Guinness World Record of like the largest dick. And it's like some 20 something inches or something like that. It's something ridiculous. But then they found out that all of it's not actually his dick. It's actually his dick grown into a tumor.
Oh, wow.
And the tumor is like covering his dick and is that long. And so like it became a medical story. All she was started like talking to him and all that kind of stuff. And like doctors offered pro bono, hey, we can shave the tumor down so you can actually have a dick again. And he said no.
He just wanted to be the king.
Because I assure you, my man has never not peed on himself. He has never had an actual erection. Like his dick doesn't work.
Yeah.
But just
and it's gotta be painful. The fuck, man. This is when our tumor is comfortable. For anybody, it's gotta be painful. Shit.
And I'm just like, what does that mean? If you're the size of your dick makes it impossible for you to clap cheeks, what's the point?
Yeah.
Why what bravado or ego can you have in that?
I know, my man.
Man. Is that what we do to be famous?
Man. Hey, but just taking it back real quick.
Yeah. I know we've gotten off track.
And that's okay. You made a statement that implied in my mind that you agree that the double stuffed double stuffed Reese's are, like the proportions are off. So first of all, let's just start there. You agree with Marcus that it's too much peanut butter?
No, I was saying
Reese's. I'm asking, not telling.
Oh, like my actual feelings are, I don't care because I love peanut butter.
But just objectively, do you feel like there's more peanut butter than chocolate, whatever? I
guess for me, if I'm going for a Reese's, I'm really going for the peanut butter more than I am the chocolate, to be completely honest. So I'm okay with it.
But you're not gonna pick that up.
No, but I'm not gonna pick it up because I don't really eat candy. Not because I think the proportions are off.
If you had a craving for Reese's, you're gonna get the regular one.
In real life, if I have a craving for Reese's, I'm gonna get the king size of regular Reese's as opposed to 1 XL Reese's.
Just say
you get the king size because you want more Reese's.
Yes,
and then you could get more Reese's in two bites or 4 bites because it might take 2 bites for each king size Reese, and you might spend a little bit more getting that king size because you want more Reese's when you can get it in the double Reese's.
I don't think if I got to choose between the king size, a 4-pack of cups, or just the 1 big cup. Yeah. Even especially if it's like with the one of them like Easter novelty bitches that's like the size of a cue ball.
I know what you mean. Yes, yeah.
I think that is absolutely too much.
Never too much. Yeah. I like the basic, just the original size stuff. I don't care for the Halloween versions. That's like the bite size. But then at the same time, I don't, like you said, I don't want the novelty 5-pound version either. Just give me the, just give me the basic.
Okay,
basic
now
size.
we're getting somewhere.
Hey, I'm gonna come clean like ASAP says. I'm gonna come clean. 9 times out of 10, I'm getting the regular Reese's. I'm getting the regular Reese's. I'm gonna come all the way clean. So.
Just wanted to be a contrarian for a second.
Yeah, I just showered. I'm clean. I'm coming clean now. But what I'm saying is I just love the idea of more of what I love already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you want to get like absurd with it, like go get your favorite peanut butter, because we're not gonna act like Reese's peanut butter is like top tier peanut butter. It's not.
Absolutely not. There's no way they're like paying that much for top tier.
Like you can go get your real peanut butter, get a Reese's, and just slather some peanut butter on top of that motherfucker, and it will make a better. It'll make a better disproportionate Reese's than getting a double XL Reese's.
Absolutely, this is true. Now I got a question. Because let's say before we knew Oreos and Reese's, before we had ever had them, we knew, like, I'm sure there was some equivalent back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever, over time where they they got the idea from, or maybe there wasn't something before that and we just didn't know we needed it or we didn't know we loved it. So like, I could see why why it's easy to be partial to the original, because that's the first time we had it. We got memories. We didn't know anything before that.
I'm sure some
I
black
can see that,
fans know it and they change it a little bit to put their name on it.
Because I was thinking of like, let's say you got different shoes, right? Like, let's say for instance, Keds. I know that's random, but like, Keds were like, or some version of Keds, maybe the JC Penney or whatever version. Like, it's pretty much the Keds brand. It looks exactly like the Keds design that people you see in the movies and shit in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Folks wore it all the time. I don't know if it was called Keds back then. So I'm wondering, like, was there an Oreo? Was there something that was equivalent that just wasn't quite the Oreo until they finally in the 90s or whenever Oreos really start popping?
Put some cocaine.
Yeah. So the 80s, yeah. The Reagan era Oreos.
I was like, at that time, was it like you go to the store and get you some candy for a penny and get you a bag full of, I don't know, licorice and was it a Big Time Chew? What was it called?
Oh, bruh, I used to fuck with the Big Time Chew. Yes, that bubble gum. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it's called, but I can't remember what it's called. Something like that.
Big League
Chew.
Yeah.
That was. Like you were just so happy to get sugar. Like you didn't really care what it tasted like.
Yeah. And the fact that like they wanted kids to get the feeling of like, it's just funny. Like these motherfuckers are chewing tobacco in real life. And like, as a kid, I had no fucking clue, nor did I care at like 6 years old that this shit was, like it was actually like, the actual Big League Chew was dudes spitting skull. It was all about the sugar and shit. You're right, man.
Right.
It's just crazy to think about.
Now, take a slight pivot. Things you loved as a kid that you don't necessarily love anymore. I gotta talk about my favorite cereal as a kid was Waffle Crisp.
Oh wow, you brought it back. I forgot all about Waffle Crisp.
If I smell Waffle Crisp right now, I'll get sick because maple shouldn't smell that strong. Like they bathe that shit in some maple odor.
Yo, that's so funny because that's one of the things. Like I love cracking open the the box of the bag and like taking a big whiff. Like, that was one of the things that attracted to me is that strong maple smell. But you're right. There's no fucking way. There's no way, man. That's okay. Like that's actual. Like yo, nobody was tapping trees to get that. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Man,
was there anything like that?
That's a really good one. That's a really good one, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to think of one back when I was like for sure poor. and then when we was on the come up, I
mean, in any of them, like that old school get kids to eat broccoli, you smother it in some Velveeta or whatever sliced cheese you got.
Yeah.
And now I go, why the fuck did we do? I mean, yes, that is why an entire generation of people will go to Panera and just like drink all that broccoli and cheddar soup is because we're a generation that used to do that shit. But I'm going like, why was that the way y'all figured out how to give this to kids?
Because man, yeah, you're right. It's crazy. Like there are definitely other ways to,
I mean, broccoli,
to bring out.
I guess depending on how you eat it. As a kid, it's such a. I'm not saying it's nasty, but it's such a uninteresting like thing to eat as a kid. So when you smother it in cheese, it's like. Cool.
Right. And it wasn't even just broccoli. Like my grandmother used to put like that whole vegetable medley of like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, just to cover all that shit in cheese. So we'll eat it.
Same. Now I eat the same shit, but just like properly sauteed and nice sea salt and bruh. All right, so definitely on the low end of my life. Kaboom and smack. If I tried those now, they would be, it's a definite no.
Kaboom,
it's an absolute no.
Smack's good, but I haven't had it in a while.
Right.
So I think it's still good.
And like, actually, to be fair, it's hard to say because that's all we could afford at the time, you know?
Right.
So I don't know that I don't know anything else. But, you know, we was on the come up, like after the off, like, let's see, like this is around if I was to compare it to album, this is around, this is circa my Section 80, era. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We was on the come up, things was looking good. We was exactly.
Keisha Tammy, sit up front.
we were in the studio with Pharrell. Things are looking good. Future's looking bright. I'm thinking, man, I feel like honestly, I'm about to say something that I feel is blasphemous because I'm thinking like the what's the cookie one? What's the cookie one? Cookie Crisp. Like things like Cookie Crisp and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think nowadays are just too much. Yeah. I could do it all day back then. It's way too much now for some cereal, man.
They're also different too. Because I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You know how they sell like the singular things?
Like a little box.
Yeah, well they have those at work. And I had one like months ago. And it almost leaves like a oily, like I don't know, like the milk, it kind of, I don't know. It was weird to me.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
some cereals like leave a film.
Yeah, it weirded me out. Yeah, I can't explain it, but it was like this isn't what I remember 20 years ago.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's real weird.
That's skipping, man.
I was watching something where they were saying like people in the UK for breakfast they eat beans on toast. Did you know about that?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Me too. Yeah, but I've also heard a lot of them eating a lot of meat too.
Yeah, I've never been to the UK, but when I was in South Africa, they would do like English breakfast. So it had like they'll make your eggs custom, a lot of toast, beans, all kind. I was fine with it. Beans was a great breakfast to me. Mm.
What type of beans are we talking? I mean,
like baked beans.
Okay.
Yeah, but damn it! I can't.
Just on toast. I don't know. I can eat beans. I actually like beans in a certain way, like made well, but
like chili or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I just never thought of it like on bread.
Yeah.
I like smashed sandwiches. Like turns into a spread. Or just straight up?
Nah, it's just like straight out of like the can, like when you think of barbecue beans, like that, just not barbecue. I never had it on toast. I don't know about that. And I don't know why it made me think about this old like what's Tony Baker bit off of that show Great Taste that ADD used to have. What they were talking about struggle foods, and he said, he said they had bean toast, and then I think Eddie Griffin was like, "Oh yeah, I remember mustard sandwiches where you could all like just mustard on bread, like you could taste the meat." I don't know that life.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the times that I would consider. I mean, our family, I was blessed enough that we didn't struggle per se, but like when there was a time when like I just wanted to eat something and there was no food, like there was nothing cooked, or I would eat toast like randomly throughout the day.
Yeah,
just like get bread and butter and put it in the toaster. Like all parts of the day, I would do.
Did you butter your bread before you put it in toast?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Adam, this is a fucking revelation, bro.
I was like, wait.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember, honestly. I guess it depends on how I did it, because sometimes I would put it in the stove too. Obviously, if I put it in the stove, the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
Oh,
obviously, I would put it before, but I don't know. I think I would put it after. Yeah, it had to be after because they would just fall off. Yeah, it was after.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, how much?
Marco, you butter in your bread before you put it in toaster?
How much like gunk is at the bottom of the?
I was going to say, there's no way.
There's no way it's going to stay on the bread as it melts.
But Adam had a great point, because toast is amazing if you put it in that broiler.
Yeah.
And if you have the soft butter, like that's not in the fridge, you can't sweet. Is best like that.
Oh yeah, I can't believe it's not better.
I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't done that in 33 years.
It's like these are revelations.
Yeah, that's a revelation. Yeah, damn.
Another thing I used to do is I used to do a lot of different stuff with peanut butter. Like I'll still do this, but put it on apples, obviously.
Oh yeah,
for
I used to put
sure.
it on carrots. I used to put it on carrots and put like raisins on the peanut butter. Like
Mhm.
a little what they call it?
Ants on the log or
Ants on the
something.
log, yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Usually celery, but yeah.
What else?
Yeah, true.
I used to eat like the American Kraft singles. I used to eat that plain.
Oh,
Let's talk about them. They are
plastic
plastic.
peanut butter.
Plastic.
That's when my eyes got big. I was like, wait.
No, those motherfuckers are the trashiest cheese.
I know,
bro. I can't
but...
believe we fell for that shit, bro.
Yeah.
You just eating a big slab of microplastic, man.
But like as a kid, what you're tasting is convenience. You're not tasting the food.
Yeah. I guess we didn't give a fuck about being full. Like
I just wanted something. Yeah, something. Yeah, it's like I don't know. I think as kids, you just like snacking on something like, and you don't care how unhealthy. You don't even know what unhealthy means,
right?
Yeah,
that's age. I mean, some people do, I guess, depending on how they're raised. But at age 7 or 8, I was like, like whatever tastes good.
You just want food.
They even kids be sneaking that. You can tell them it's unhealthy. They still sneak it in.
Yeah, like I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Is there a food that's like specific to our region that y'all could think of?
To Gary or to the Midwest or to what?
We can like
or the region as they call it.
Like Chicagoland, maybe like
Hilltop.
But more so like Indiana, like our
Indiana?
Because I was gonna say, I know Chicago, of course, has deep dish. It has Italian beef.
Yeah,
the hot dog, like the Chicago dog.
Maxwell Polish.
Maxwell Polish.
I'm trying to think of something that we got.
I don't think Indiana. I mean, I can't think of anything Indiana has like specifically that's Indiana. I mean, I know popcorn. I guess that there is.
Valparaiso.
Probably a big producer of popcorn. Apparently,
Redenbacher was from Valparaiso, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little statue with him on a bench and shit in the downtown.
And then I think isn't there a city called Popcorn, Indiana? I'm assuming they produce a bunch of popcorn there because I've been seeing other branded Indiana popcorn in store. I forgot what the brand is, but I think there's another brand. Maybe it is that place, but I don't know.
Where I know it's Eastern European, but I think pierogies are a big thing over in Whiting.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. Well, if it's Eastern Europe, I feel like a lot of. Go ahead.
Is that Polish? Is that Polish?
Yeah, it's a kind of Polish.
Well, that makes sense because I know you say Indiana, but Chicago. Did you know Chicago is has the biggest population of Polish people? That's not Poland.
I didn't know.
I didn't
know
that. Yeah, I was just. I just know that there are a lot of them in the Midwest.
Yeah,
but I thought that there were, so that's why I wasn't surprised about that. But
yeah,
interesting.
I just know there's a whole like festival over in I think Whiting called Pierogi Fest.
I think Kirsten mentioned something about that before.
I heard of that. Yeah. Damn, that's a very good question. I'm trying to think of like what else I feel like it's just the biggest city like Chicago. We get everything.
Yeah, we got a lot of influence.
Yeah.
I got an offering for since we don't like I don't know if y'all ever eat at Lincoln's.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Oh my God. The steel workers. Oh my God.
Man, that need to be our official food.
Absolutely.
For real. Yeah. If y'all haven't had that, it's
absolutely love it.
What is Lincoln's?
Dang.
It's so good, bro.
It's that sandwich place in Hobart. I think there's two of them, but the main one is kind of in Hobart.
They used to have some in Gary.
51.
They used to have them all around.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about this.
You gotta go get the steel.
Josh don't know that steel worker life.
Get the pepper jack cheese, man. Get the pepper jack cheese on it.
Bro, it's so good.
What was the sandwich that you said put pepper jack on?
Steel worker.
Oh, okay.
Steel worker sandwich, yeah. Now I wonder, speaking of things that we've had in our past and loved, I absolutely love that. I used to beg my aunt to like take us there. So I wonder if it's changed. Like, have you had one recently? Is it changed over time?
No, it's still
for the better or worse. Okay.
I'm just mad that they closed so many of them.
Yeah. Dang, I forgot all about that, bro. That's the place I want to go. I wonder if I can get it like just vegetarian. I'm sure I can. Dang, bro. That just brought back a wonderful memory, man. Right.
It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Best sandwich in Northwest Indiana.
It really is.
Oh,
Word. Okay, so I'm sitting here trying to look up the sandwich. We gonna take a brief moment so I can read and not record at the same time. All right, we'll be right back. What up, listeners? As I told y'all earlier, I just got back from a trip to New Orleans, and I gotta tell you, you would have thought I was in the middle of bumblefuck Kansas with how mediocre every single woman I saw was. I cannot believe the depth of unattractivity that I saw in droves. It was really disappointing. Not that I had any plans, not that I think I'm the prettiest motherfucker out there, but I do know real recognize real. And I want to not see me. If I see a whole lot of me everywhere, then goddamn, it's like I tell every gay man that's ever hit on me, we got too much in common.
That's a damn good line. Too.
Huh?
I said that's a damn good line.
So I don't know if it was just like where we were, but I was like, how is this place, this beacon of art and music and the most African city once upon a time in the whole country? Where are all of the jaw-dropping, awe-inspiring, breathtaking women that should be inhabiting this space so that I can not talk to you? It was just a thought I had. So if you are from New Orleans and you listen to this podcast, write in and be like, excuse me, I'm fine as shit. And I'm not going to like Kevin Samuels you or nothing like that and be like, wrong, you're a 4. But I just want to know what happened. Like how is it that I went out and spent entirely too much money on liquor and there were no amount of whiskey goggles that could have made y'all better? So, yeah. Again, this is purely judgment on a completely vapid state. And so, feel how you feel. And you can be like, well, nigga, you ugly. I'm like this. I never said I wasn't. What's your point? All right, that's it. Welcome back. That was a good break. Thank you to our sponsor. I'm lying. We ain't got no sponsors. And I don't feel like thinking of one today. On the subject of food, take a slight pivot. Adam asked us in the chat, so let's throw it in there. Do you give to the unhoused, as they are so affectionately called now?
Or displaced.
The displaced. And whether you do or don't, are you a believer in the give them food, not money concept? Why or why not? I have thorough experience with all of these where, what is it? I try to give food more than I give money. Back in the day when I was young, dumb, and full of Morecambe, I gave money to this one cat in Chicago downtown.
More come like more peanut butter in the Reese's. The ratio was off, son. The ratio was off.
I'm older. Ain't producing.
Must be a tumor in his balls or something.
I gave money to this one cat that he didn't have. It looked like, I can't remember if he had one leg or no legs, but both legs wasn't there. I know that. It was either one or it was neither. And then I remember later on when I got off of work, I walked past the alley, and I saw that same motherfucker drive out of that alley in a Lincoln.
I remember you saying that.
I was very confused as to how. And so since then, I was like, oh no, like, yeah, just we're not doing that no more. And then again, I appreciate other motherfuckers. Like, remember one year it was a dude that had a sign that was like, "Why lie? It's for liquor."
Thank you, my brother, for telling the truth. Yeah,
there's another one that went.
My bad, Marcus.
Oh no, you good. The last one I'm gonna say is this dude was like, been backpacking for 3 months, lost my girlfriend to a ninja, need money for karate lessons.
And you gave him money that time?
No, I just laughed and kept walking. But, so yeah,
you need a gun.
That man, you need to go get his girl back. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Me personally, I'm give food over money.
No, I like to judge it case by case. Like the other day, I was with my kids walking into a store, and somebody came and asked me for money, and I don't always react the same way, but this time I was like offended. I just felt offended. Like, go get away from me. Like, I'm with my kids. I'm going in here to get something for my kids. Like, I have a hard enough time doing what I have to do myself. Like, I don't know, but I guess I like kind of judge it off of the circumstance or how they seem to me. But yeah, I ultimately would like to give them food instead of money. But sometimes I think no, and then when I'm coming back, I may give them some, what I have to give. So it's just I don't. It's not like I always give money or food at all, but I just judge it case by case.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Because I mean, here's the thing. I know giving money could help because food probably ain't all the issue. Like, they want to buy blankets or drawers and thicker socks. Like, food doesn't solve everything. But I remember but especially when you ask me for food specifically, then I've been swindled sometimes. There was a cat that used to live, I used to live next to this African restaurant. I think it was Ethiopian joint, something like that. But dude asked me he was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry to bother you, but I haven't eaten in 3 days. And so I can you just help me out?" And I was like, you know what? I just got paid. I'll take you to the spot right here. My man ordered a lamb shank. I didn't say get whatever you want. I was like, yo, just, don't kill me. It's like, yeah, let me get that lamb shank. And I was like, lamb shank? Like, my nigga, that's
$30.
That's like a $25 meal.
Oh man,
that's funny.
That's funny, bro. I actually had something similar happen in Chicago. This lady rolled up on me. She was already angry. Like, she was angry, and I smelled her breath, and I'm like, yeah, you haven't eaten in 20 years. Her breath smelled this bad because there's no gas left in the tank, son. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Like, I think there was like fries or something, and she did something similar. She ordered the most expensive fucking thing on the menu. I'm like, okay, but you still got, so you can still read the menu pretty fucking good and get the, the top of the line joint here.
Right.
That time I let it slide, but I remember growing up in Miller. What was this guy's name? I feel like he got around Miller quite a bit too. And everyone who's listened,
Marshall Willoughby.
This, it was another dude.
Mr. Willoughby.
Okay. Was it Eli? That wore the blue sweatsuit?
Well, Eli's the dude who always gave out the
$50.
The $50, right?
Yeah,
it was a white dude, but he was like shorter, kind of hunched back. Like, he wasn't as spry as Eli.
We really got to we got to make the legend of Eli. Like,
I used to love seeing that dude.
Me too.
Because we're just bringing him up like people just casually know him and all that kind of stuff. Like, who was Eli?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The only thing I know about the only thing I know about Eli was that he was this older white guy that had the white hair, white beard.
Right.
He used to always have on a navy blue sweatsuit.
Yeah.
With a like kind of like a baseball cap. And you would always see him around the Lake Street area, like around like the bank, around like just kind of in that area mostly. And I know every time I would see him, like I was typically with my mom, he like Aaron said, he would give you $50, like the 50-cent piece, whatever. And no one knew why. He was just a nice person. But I don't know like what his job was. I don't know anything about other than that.
He would want you to know who he is too. Like, do you know who I am? Like,
yes, yeah.
Like,
I think that was the thing. If you knew what his name was, that's how you got the 50. Yeah, that's how you got the $50.
Like Santa Claus? Are you Santa Claus?
I was like, that sounds like Jesus.
I'm like, bro, I used to be yelling from across the street. I know we gotta go, but that's Eli over there. I need my money. I need my money. Used to be hype, son. Like kids, I know that may sound wrong. That kids love that motherfucker.
Just give him free money.
I didn't want to seem too insensitive with what I said though, because like I was thinking about like that I was offended. Like I don't think that's the right way to approach these situations. But I was just saying this moment I was.
Makes sense.
In my mind, I usually be like, I think like, are you able-bodied person that can go work or try to get a job or do something other than this?
Right.
Because I could do that too, but you never know a person's situation. And but it is a way to like get resources other than that. So
yeah,
I don't want to feel insensitive, but that time I wasn't feeling it.
And a lot of it is their approach too.
Yeah,
they be super aggressive, and that's not the way. Now, like you said, you have to consider their mind state, their mental state, their emotional state. They're very much more in survival mode if they really are unhoused and not driving off in a Lincoln, with a car parked in the back, of course. So I understand I would understand them, wanting to hurry up every situation. Just, you're only thinking about how can I get my next meal, whatever. It's more in survival mode. So I get it. But that level of aggression is what turns people off quite a bit too, man. Not just like feeling like you're being lied to or you're being swindled. Definitely had several of them, but I don't know if y'all remember, there's one lady named Yvette when I was working in Chicago. I was working with her for 2 years, just about. I mean, I gave thousands, man.
Older white lady that used to be by Penguin?
Nah, it wasn't older. It's actually an older black lady. Well, she was maybe in her 50s. It was two people. It was one dude named, oh my God, what is his name? I can't remember the dude's name. His last name was Thomas. Anyway, he used to call me his younger brother. And he actually saved me one time from probably getting robbed. I think I said this. Did I tell this story already? Anyway, so I would see him on Michigan. I would see him on Michigan Avenue, like not too, like the Gold Coast area where I worked is not far from Michigan Avenue. So one time when I was turning the corner on Michigan Avenue, it was one of those corners where it was pretty dark. It wasn't very well lit. And two dudes were like approaching me coming from across the street. And I kind of like saw him in my peripheral, but I'm like seeing Mr. Thomas. I'm embarrassed that I can't remember his name now, man. And one of the dudes was like, yo, come here, and then they both started like running up on me. Like, and then they literally started running up. And, I ain't gonna front. My heart was racing, just a wee bit. Like, yo, what is happening, son?
Right.
And, dudes were like 2 feet from me, and he jumped up and was like, yo, if you want it with him, you're going to get it with me. He said something like that. And, they were arguing and shit, and the dudes eventually backed off. I don't know if like there was some situation where they were, I'm sure they had seen me working with him and giving him money over those 2 years, and they assumed that I was not broke. They assumed that I was not broke, which is a terrible It was trickery on my part because if these motherfuckers only knew, if they only knew. Anyway, like that was I was like, yo, I got you after this. It wasn't like I owed him anything outside of a thank you. I had already given him a lot of money anyway, but it just continued our relationship of like stopping by. Because originally it was just me trying to talk to him and say, what's up? Because a lot of people don't even acknowledge you, At that point I was like, I just had the feeling of like, trying to like sit back and hear somebody's story, talk to him and shit, because I had time anyway. But anyway, lady named Yvette, I was really trying with her, man, and I gave a lot of money. There were plenty of times where one time I rolled up on her and she used to sit outside of that Walgreens on Michigan Avenue. I remember one time I saw Mark Wahlberg walk out and give her a $100 bill, jump in the back of a SUV and drive off. And she was so hyped, she was crying.
Yeah.
Like seeing those kind of things are really cool. But I walked up on her one time and it was this group of kids who had like grabbed her little jar of money and ran off. That's when that was right before they put the cops all on every block. Yeah. I'm like, crazy stuff was happening anyway. So like 2 years, I'm seeing a lot of things. The sad thing is I never really knew how this story ended because I had quit Penguin and kind of moved on and didn't get a chance to like, and that those 2 days that I had worked, that were my last 2 days, I didn't get to see her. She wasn't out there.
Right.
But like I had written a resume before. Like I had bought her all like whole new, like an outfit for an interview. Like, and my aunt was helping me at the time when she knew what I was doing. She's like, oh yeah, I'll help you. So we got her scarves, socks, shoes, clothes, everything. Even invited her to like have Thanksgiving and Christmas and ride the train back home with me.
Right.
Like all these things. And like, I tried and at some point I got wrapped up in it myself too, though. Like it's something about being too close to a situation and like you have to keep your space because it became unhealthy. Like my family had to sit me down and was like, yo, at one point I didn't even have enough money to like get I wasn't keeping track enough. And I didn't have enough money to even for the train ride back home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I helped out a lot, man. But I just my main thing with her is she definitely had that like her situation, like her state would change sometimes where I was like, oh, I see genuine gratitude, and other times it was almost like she began to expect it, and I didn't. That's where you kind of got to like get that space.
Yep.
Because like Marcus was saying, like, I could see there was a part of me that was even a little offended and like, yo, I'm telling you that I'm willing to help. I'm trying and stuff, but like,
you're not entitled to it.
Yeah. And I didn't know how to handle that situation in the way that I should. I think at the time there were, I had my days when I was on and off as well. But she got to expecting that. And it's like, I'm keeping you here essentially. So that's when I was like, I'm going hard on the resume. And like, I had somebody call me actually. It was like a janitorial job. It was something that was like entry level, but I was like, that's something.
But even had you been able to go through all of that, you don't know that she would have went to the interview. You don't know that she would have followed through.
I'll never know. All I know is like I got like a date or something, and I like I told her about it, printed out the resume and everything. She had the clothes and because it was during winter time, so she had the coat and everything. And I'll never know how that shit ended up. But anyway, my main point was, I saw the different variations of like, oh, she's genuinely grateful here. And then she's entitled. Am I really helping her? I need to like check myself before I step into these situations from now on and really kind of like consider. So now I play it situation by situation as best I can, like Marcus was saying,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to take it that damn long. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take it that long, man.
No, you're good.
I had 2 years of explaining in a minute or whatever.
No, absolutely. I think that was great, and really thank you for sharing that story. I hope that she's okay.
Shout out to Yvette, man. May the good Lord, universe, or life, bless you in many ways. So
yeah, hopefully, she's out there. She's in better circumstances. I I remember seeing you connect with people while you were at Penguin, and this was a while ago because you've been out of Penguin for at least 7, 8 years now.
2014. Yeah.
Yeah. So almost 10 years. And so yeah, a lot could have happened in the past 9 years. But let's wrap it up there.
I haven't gone yet.
Huh?
I didn't go yet.
Oh shit, my bad.
Reclaim his time. I took his time.
My bad.
But,
Go ahead.
I mean, I'll be quick, I guess. But
no, take your time.
But basically, I mean, for me, it's like, okay, so if I could help every homeless person, I would. But obviously, I don't have the resources to do that. But like, in fact, if you know how everyone has like a thing they would like to help like a world issue. For me, is like homelessness is or displacement or whatever word you want to use. That's actually something that I don't believe should be a thing in the I guess we're calling ourselves the richest country the world has ever seen. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's like I don't understand how that's possible, given the fact, as 10-year veteran, we spend like $800 million, or is it billion? Is it billion or million? $800 billion.
I think it's billion.
Billion, yeah. $800 billion a year on the defense budget. And I get it, there's a lot of stuff to maintain and whatever. Even in the pandemic, we proved that when the government wants to dish out trillions of dollars, they can. So when the economy is at stake, they're willing to shell out all of this money. But
right
when there's a bunch of people that are starving to death, a lot of these people being veterans whom the country claims to care about. I just don't understand how we have such a homeless problem. Well, I mean, I guess I do kind of understand with inflation and people being predators basically to people who can't afford to own a home. Because the prices of rent, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like it's cheaper to pay a mortgage than it is to pay rent. And it's like I just don't understand.
So crazy. Yeah.
However, it's
homes in our country.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. I don't even know how many there are, but probably hundreds of thousands of empty homes that people just you have enough people to afford them. Yet there's people living on the street. But anyway, to answer the question, like for me, like I'm more likely to give money simply because I just don't typically have food just sitting next to me. But there's definitely times when I have bought food for people. And you guys was mentioning like aggression. Like I remember being at Popeyes probably like a year ago, and I saw a guy, that was clearly, not in a blessed situation. I was call it that. And I was like, I was already, when I saw him, like, I'm gonna buy this guy a meal. But then when I pulled up to the drive-thru, he's standing like at the thing, like yelling at people, like, asking them for stuff. I was like, you know what? Never mind. It was like, I was like, before he even said anything, I was planning on buying him something, but his attitude just completely turned me off from wanting to do that. And anybody that knows me, not anybody, but like, I do like doing for homeless people. I've given, I'm not gonna say so much money, but I've given quite a bit of money in my adult life. Like I think I told that story, you guys, when I gave that guy a ride, like in like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And this dude, I'm not gonna retell the story, but it's like I've definitely done my fair share of things, but I do believe there is a right way to approach somebody, because someone might be willing to help you if you deal with them as a person. But if you're coming to me like expecting it, it's like, even if you are in a dire situation, it's like you still can't lose your humanity when you're trying to get something from somebody.
Right. And
then I'll end it with this. I understand that there's a lot of people on the street that happen to have like mental, like real, not that there's a such thing as a fake mental issue, but like have like
more severe maybe, or
like debilitating mental issues that literally makes it impossible for them to work. Maybe they don't have the resources to get the medicine or the help they need, so they're on the street. And then sometimes it's hard to pick out those people versus the people that might happen to be on drugs, because sometimes symptoms are the same. So I get why a lot of people kind of just steer away from homeless people, because like, this person's a drug addict, but they might not be a drug addict. They might just have severe schizophrenia, but it looks the same, you know.
Facts.
But like for me, like say if I could, like I wish I could start like some nonprofit to help homeless people, but I don't know how that works. I don't have the money to do anything like that. But and that's why I asked the question. I was just kind of curious of what people, because I know we've always heard don't give them money because they could go buy drugs. And for me, like though that's true,
though I don't think that's gonna happen most of the time.
Yeah. And for me, it's like I just don't even care about. Like for me, it's like I feel like my job is done. Like I gave them $2, $5, whatever. If they go and buy a 2-piece, fine. If they go buy whatever you can get, I don't know how much drugs you can get for $5, but if they go buy that too, and if that makes their day a little bit less shitty, then so be it. And
it's
that's
more
just
of a respite. Yeah, like your intentions going in were to be helpful to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like to be giving, like
exactly. Because for me, I'm giving you. It's like I'm never giving somebody like $20, $30 or anything, but like if this little bit of money, or maybe you already have gained $20 from asking people all day, so maybe that $5 is all you needed to get what you was going to get. But I just look at it as I tried to help. I mean, what the person does after that is I don't really care. Like, and I'll end it with that.
Has it happened to you or in any of you where the person asks for a very specific amount of money? Like, yo, man, I only need $1.37.
Yeah, it's more like $10. Hey, you got 10, like I got 3. I mean,
sometimes people at the gas stations will say like, hey, I need this exact amount, or somebody trying to get a train ride or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then I see it's something about how somebody is dressed. It's like I see that you got like the J's on, like, but you asking me for stuff, and it's like,
oh, that's fair.
Come on, man. Like you made we all make bad decisions, but you made some terrible decisions recently.
Recently.
Within the last 60 days.
I want to say one thing, like the point about the mental illness, like especially in the hood, like that is a whole subject in itself. Like
it is.
That's huge. That's a great point. We could talk about that like another time, but like it needs to be something in our communities that we can either evaluate or have some type of system. It probably is already that I don't know about, but it needs to be stronger, whatever it is, because that's a great point, man.
Yeah, that is. You're right, yo.
Healthcare services are what they are. Unfortunately, a lot of mental health facilities are unaffordable to the average person, rather less the any unhoused people.
Yep.
It's an ongoing, like, challenge for the people who in most need of mental health services to be able to have access to them.
Yep.
And I agree with you that every tier, especially every tier of people, especially when we talk about like whether it's racial background or socioeconomic, people who have less usually need more.
Yeah.
And like as basic as that can sound.
I mean, even as simple as this, like I know it's common for people like, man, they need to find a job. And I get it. I really do. But sometimes it's as simple as these people don't even have a social security card. They don't even have a birth certificate.
They have no way to prove who they are.
Yeah. And it's like,
there's no phone to call for an interview.
That's what I'm saying. That's why like I wish like I had the resources to start somewhere. Like it wasn't even about getting people money or food. It's like, how do we get these people, like you said, a phone, a social security card to even because even if they do fill out an application, they can't work because they don't even have proof
of existence. Like
dude, that was
registered with the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my argument for the longest time.
Yeah,
you're so right. It's like they can just get up and do it. I'm like,
yeah. I saw this clip on Instagram where this dude, he was a homeless guy. Somebody was interviewing a homeless guy, and he was like, you know what? If a lot of people, if you took away people's paychecks that they got every 2 weeks, they would be right here with me in a month. And I'm like, dang, that's probably accurate.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
yeah. And it's
As
like
the person who also does not have a savings. Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know, man.
Hey, bro. Hey, but you can start at any point, and I would not suggest you take the route I did and spend some of your savings trying to help somebody, and then you end up in the same. You know what's that saying? You can't help the poor by being one of them. You know what I'm saying? It's just true. It's just true, bro.
In real life, I do have some savings, but it's not like enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, people who are like, oh yeah, I worked hard enough that I'm gonna take like the next 6 months to a year off so I can, do some spiritual investigation and shit like that. I'm like, I'm sorry, what the fuck do you do again?
Yeah, I don't know that life. Like that, honestly, you know what? I had a life like that for like that period right after I got out of the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
But I literally saved specifically for that reason, like so I could do that. Because after 10 years of work for Uncle Sam, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do anything for 6 months. So, but that's no longer the case. So
right.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah, if you want to go work on an oil rig or go to Alaska and work on those very dangerous boats, those people make a year salary in 6 to 8 months, hundreds of $1,000s, and then they could take 6 to 8 months off and chill, but you might die in the process.
Yeah. So it's like the high likelihood of you dying before you able to use that money is astronomical.
I actually got a homie who was telling stories, man. I wish we could have him on sometime. He'd tell you some crazy stories about Alaska on one of them ships, man.
Yo, that'd be great.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
I would love some first-hand experience hearing about the pursuit of the child from atypical. But yeah, let's wrap it up there then. Before we get into our old school 3-hour episodes. And, thanks for listening, y'all. We appreciate you. We love you. Before we get out of here, fellas, do you have any last thoughts?
Shout out to Willie, who just one time tried to get right in my car with zero acknowledgement. we definitely weren't on first name basis at all. I knew you, but you don't know me enough to just jump in my car. Nobody does that. So shout out to him.
Shout out to Willie.
Yeah, man.
On that mutual shout out to a dude that used to live by me on I don't know where he lived, but he was always out there on 47th when I used to live over there. He's the one that swindled me into that lamb shank. One time he caught me on the way to Benny's, the liquor store, and he was like, "Hey man, you got any change?" And then he looked into my car door that had all the change in it. He was like,
don't lie to me, man.
That's hilarious, Joe. That peer pressure gets you every time.
I almost said no just because I was like, "You're being a dick." Like I need these for tolls, even though I know I avoid the toll road at all costs. But yeah, y'all know where to write it. InforMILLy@gmail.com. And hit us up on our socials when we put up posts. I know those ain't been consistent, but you'll be all right. Share, like, subscribe, all those things. We appreciate y'all. We love you. And everyone you connect with, everyone you talk to, everyone you engage with, we encourage, empower, and employ you to be forthright, you to be vulnerable, and please be honest.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. And thanks for listening.
Like, I did everything I could. I gotta go.
Without shedding a tear for my brother, I really wanna try for my brother, 'cause I truly do feel for my brother.